shrine to St Anne in Tom Haggard. I've just seen a sign with somebody'd shot the bicycle symbol right through with the shotgun. The hole was about one of those signs, and the hole had completely obliterated the top of it. So they must have bigger guns in Ireland, because they shoot the signs in Britain, but with those little air-powered pellet things. This one, big hole, inch diameter, gone right through. Ballyhealy Castle, another Norman one. The bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. I'm very struck by them. Of course the birds are still singing, and the sun is still shining, and the flowers are still in bloom. Looking at this grave here, I've just noticed it because it's the First World War grave I've noticed. The name James O'Connor died 7th of September 1916, interred in France. And the parents died in 1951 and the wife died in 1957 and the husband died in 1916. Their daughter died in 1994 at the age of 78, so, and then her husband died 1997. So I don't say how old he was, obviously old enough to have a child, but he never lived to see it grow up. This is Killag Church. I've just stopped here for a rest and to have a bite to eat. That grave there, look. Maria Sinnott, Millview, died young. Field of rape over there, look at that, that's the first one I've seen, because they don't really grow it in Wales. Around where I live you have to go into, probably close to the border up by Prestine, they grow it over there, and then they grow it a lot in Worcestershire and Shropshire and Herefordshire, but not in Ceredigion. I can just about smell it as well. The wind is wafting over this direction. You can see the wind turbines are all faced into the wind, and it looks like there's a change in the weather over there. The horizon's very foggy and clouded over, and it's clouded over quite a lot. So I think the dry start will end soon, actually. I was nearly contemplating taking my leg boards off, but and my long sleeves, they shall stay on for a bit. I'm also on a very nice sort of cycle route. It's Eurovelo 1. It's called the Atlantic Coast Way, so it does the Atlantic coast of Europe, so I shall have to research it, but it must go obviously down Norway, down Britain, down Ireland, back into Britain, or then go to France, and then down to Spain and Portugal. It must be quite a long way. Eurovelo 1. So, not too far. There's Rosslare, and then I've followed this dotted line to about here, like this one here. And then there's a ferry here over to Waterford and then into Kilkenny. Oh no, sorry, into Waterford County. So that's where I'm going. Medieval church for a manor, and the manor shortly after the Norman arrival in 1169. De Veru, that was a grave in that other place, St. Catherine's Church. By the 16th century they had built a stone castle at the centre of their large farm. I wonder if that was, what was it, Bally something? I don't know. Saint Decumen, a 7th century Welsh saint, who according to legend once travelled across the Bristol Channel using his cloak as a raft, bringing a cow with him. So yeah, so ruined now. A hooded crow. I'm just managed to get a picture. So I think that's the second one I've seen. I'm sure that was a hooded crow. And then the other one was a sort of 75% sure it was, but nice to see them. So my first one ever on Anglesey, and now I've seen two in the same day, so they must be more common over here. Flown again. Oh. I'd look up this as well, it's interesting. There's all these female names on the same colour placard. Lucio Sullivan, there's one up there, Alicia Roach I think it was. And I've seen two others on the descent to Wellington Bridge, so I'll have to look that up at some point. There's another one there, Mary Cale Diskin. So I'm in Wellington Bridge now, turning left. You can see how far from Rosslare I've come. Just stop for a brief picture before I go and see if the Passage East ferry is running. There's a ruined church here and more ruins over the water. The graveyard's still consecrated though, so not still in use, but gosh. This is part of the Wexford Coastal Path. Beautiful place. Just left Wellington Bridge. I've seen my first open petrol station and a disused railway. Just arrived at the Passage East ferry. Please queue here, says the sign behind the van. So that's what I shall do. There's a ferry over there, and there's a ferry here as well, so I don't know which one. I don't know when it is even. So I'll just hang around. But there's a queue, which is promising, rather than say, oh, it's cancelled and you have to go another way. On the move. Just wait for them to get off and then we'll be let on. This cuts out probably 40 miles or 50. We have to go all the way up to New Ross and through Waterford. There's Waterford estuary, I forget the name of the river. We've lost half a metre now on the signs outside of Rosslare. 1.5 metres, and that sign says 1 metre. So maybe it's different in different counties, but I've gone off route a bit. I'm heading for Tramore. I'm going just before Dunmore East and then go over a bit. So, and then get to Tramore that way. So, beautiful day. It's Passage East on the other side, and then it's Ballyhack, I think, on this side. I think I've left Wexford now as well, and I'm not sure if I'm in Kilkenny or in Waterford. Anyway, it's €3 for the ferry for a single. So I've parted with my first coins. And sun has come out for a bit, so it's 10 to 11. She's gone up now to 1.5 metres. So, I don't know what that was made of. On the way to Dungarvan, and there's a campsite before Dungarvan I hope to stop in. If not, I'll then I'll wild camp because I've got enough food. But I was in a low point in Tramore because a beautiful morning section. Very happy with that. Very pleased to actually get to Ireland. And then now I'm in Ireland, I'm like, well, what next? So it's a bit of a strange mood to be in. But after Tramore in this sort of terrain, it's got a lot better. Well, a bit better. And I want to get the first day out of the way with, which feels like an age, to be honest. I can't quite believe it's the first day still. Been on the road since 6. It's 2:30 now, so yeah, it just feels like a very long time, even though it isn't. At a place called Dunabratton Head. It's Copper Coast UNESCO Global Geopark. Colourful rock there. Go down and have a look. Bratton Head. You can see the road down to Dungavan. Gorgeous bird, that. Nice to see. See the road going back up. Just enjoy the curves. Little cove here. Back up the hill. This looks pretty good. Waterford Greenway. I'm off into, I think it's Dungavan, to look for not a campsite. Look for a B&B, because the first place I went to was shut. He said a lot's been shut actually, and then I went to a place he recommended called Bayview, and they don't do tents, so it's a bit annoying. It's 5:20 now, so it's the time I start to look for something. Oh, it's 7:20 on the end of the first day. There was nothing in Dunglow. Well, I googled the prices of the B&Bs and they were like £140, and that was one of the cheaper ones, so I thought I'll look for a spot to wild camp, and here it is. I left the N25 and I've come up the hill. I am opposite someone's bungalow. But the gate was open, so I just rode in very quickly. Hopefully no one will come along and shut it. But I'll show you the view. It's lovely. Over there you can see Dunglow. I come from down there. Down by that waterfront, I think. Down there is where I inquired at Bayview, but she said we don't do tents, so the other place was shut, and then I've come up here. So to be honest, I am wishing I got a van, but there you are. I'm going to have a sandwich, and I shan't probably go to sleep until it's dark, to be honest. I don't know if it's going to rain tonight. I don't think so, but there you go. So, plan for tomorrow is to head to Cork and see how I feel from there, because it's 50 miles from here. So I've done 82 today. Yeah, half the, well, I say half the time I'm enjoying it, and the other bit of the time is like, oh, fuck this peasant living. So I like the travel. I don't know if it's the correct mode of travel just yet, but I said I'd give it a week, so I'll see how that goes. I always wanted to do a cycle tour, and then I ended up doing one, and because this isn't the first one, and I never particularly enjoy them, and then I forget about that, and then I go to do another one. It's like, oh shit, what have I done? Anyway, I just want to sleep, to be honest, so maybe I'll have better opinion in the morning. So left some food and some stuff in the dry bag, so that's waterproof, so it should be alright. Took all the electrics off. It's 9:15 PM now, so it'll be dark soon. It's already light over Dungarvan. Lights on, I mean. I've dozed a bit already. I've got quite cold, so I'm packing up now and going to bed. It'll be conspicuous in the daytime, but not at night. Oh, I needed that bit of lie down though. Bit of a pooey field. Yeah, look at that though, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful country. So if I'm on the wrong form of transport, that's... Anyway, I'm off to bed.